came home and I died for 30 minutes today.
When did you come home?
I got home like 2:45.
And you died?
And I was out cold for literally a half hour. And I was laying on top of the sheets, diagonal across the bed, with just a pillow over my face. And I was laying like this.
What?
No, I have an API for me either.
We can do this. I'm just hoping one of your cats doesn't like knock everything over. Ah.
What's that on him?
To his host. Your guest.
Just sit. Alright, let's just get this show on the fucking road. Cool beans. Hi, welcome to Be More.
I was like, do you want to say hi first?
We're your hosts, Brittany and
Maria.
yeah, I felt weird saying
God,
names.
this is so weird.
We'll make this flow better one day. We're only on episode 3. We got so much time. I was listening to something the other day about how important it is to like be really messy in the things that you do at first, so that you have like ability to progress and like you watch it develop.
Like
so
growth.
Yeah, so we're here, and it's messy,
Growing.
and it's fine.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say on top of this, thanks for people that have watched / listened. We just uploaded. This is like the way that we film things is like 2 weeks after the fact.
If life is going well.
If life is going well.
So far, it's been good.
Great. Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
So we just uploaded our first video podcast last Tuesday.
Maria did that because she's our tech person.
And
I did not.
Thus far, the people that we know personally have been watching. I mean, at least 50 of them at least.
Yeah.
And it's been
somehow connected. Or maybe, we don't even know if it's not people we know.
Right, and like not even that, like people have reached out to me.
That's very true. Yeah.
And people have DM'd me though, like on Instagram, like, oh my god, like, this is great, like, and I was like, oh, you should come on an episode, and everyone has said yes.
Solid.
So
be prepared for so many more faces, or
voices. Later when I figure this out.
Depending on how
our logistics get.
Depending on how you watch or listen.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Because that means we're already getting to do what we set out to do.
Yeah, which is
right?
To get a community.
Yeah.
Like
to have that.
Yeah.
I'm going to use a word that I like that I've been thinking about. To curate a community. To like bring it together, right? Doesn't that sound fun?
Yeah, no, that sounds
It's a fun
great.
word.
Curate is a fun word.
Yeah. So
there is that. Thank you.
We're getting there. Yeah. Thank you.
I keep looking at the monitor. Oh, also, by the way, we're not at our usual spot.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to my home.
Yeah, her humble abode. If you like music.
And if you like... This is going to be so fun, wait. And if you like superheroes. And if you like Bob's... Nope. Bob's Burgers. I wasn't sure how to go there.
Oh, my God.
Or Spider-Man. No, that way? Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome.
Is that Circus Survive?
Yeah, Dan's a huge Circa fan.
Oh my god.
Like a humongous Circa fan.
I love... What the heck is his name? Anthony Green.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's amazing. We will eventually probably have an entire episode, or like 12 episodes about music.
About music? Yeah, for sure.
We will get there. But we wanted to talk to you today. Can I start with my story before we get into the actual topic?
Yeah, absolutely.
The story that I had this morning, I was like, this is fresh for me. Okay. I don't want to call...
Oh, this. I saw that.
I don't want to call out...
I saw that. We have a Google Doc of what we...
Yeah, we write about during the week. So I was kind of annoyed this morning.
Go on.
So I had gotten
so excited.
Okay, so I'm really sensitive to caffeine, so I can't drink like a whole... Like, I couldn't drink all of this in one sitting, or I'd be, like, shaking. And I was dying this morning, so I had to do something. So I had, like, a little bit of, like, sugary coffee in the bottom of this, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get a black coffee.
Okay.
And, and it was, like, maybe to, like, here.
Sure.
There was, like, nothing here, right?
So, okay.
So I was like, I'll get a small black.
Okay.
And I'll pour it in there, and, like...
Lo and behold,
I, like, had, like, almost nothing in here, and it, like, was overflowing. And I was like... Why, if I put a small coffee in here, is it the same size as the medium?
Okay. Right, even with this much.
Right.
So then how much bigger is a small
why am I
compared to
spending
medium?
an extra $1 in whatever it is? I'm literally, I've come to this conclusion. I'm paying for the styrofoam cup.
No, yeah, for sure. It's the cost to, like, make all the styrofoam as opposed to the paper one.
So,
And the lid's different. Okay.
I'm not okay with that.
We have opinions. No, I'm not saying, like, I'm okay with it, too.
Oh, yeah, so I'm just putting it out there. So that was like and it was very early.
But how many fluid ounces is in a small and a medium?
I don't know.
Well, hold on. Please wait.
It should say it down here, but at least I was smart enough not to try to turn the cup over.
Small.
Because I've had that day. I've been there, too.
Okay.
Is there there's at least $1 price difference. And then, oh my goodness, okay, we were at Starbucks the other day.
So,
so much for
sorry.
not saying brands, but it's fine, whatever. They're out there. We're not trying to compete with them, but sorry, going back.
A small is a 16 ounce and a medium is a 24 ounce, is what they say. This is also, hold on, let me just open up the full.
actually double
read
check
it.
that. So, is it possible that I didn't have, like, I could see the bottom of the cup.
Oh,
so.
no, that's the ice stuff, and the ice stuff is different.
Okay, and the cups are ridiculous.
Yeah, because, we worked at a Dunkin' before.
Yeah!
That was like, was it your first job?
Yes, that was my first job. And then I hired 3 of the people that I liked the best. I got 3 of the people that I liked the best to come work with us.
Yep.
And we had a grand old time, and I ate so much food.
Oh, it was gross.
Oh, yeah, you used to watch me
do
that on my breaks.
Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Here, finally, the hot coffee sizes.
Okay.
A small is a 10 ounce, and a medium is a 14 ounce. So depending on how many ounces of liquid you had on the bottom.
Why am I spending $1 for 4 ounces of liquid?
I don't know.
If not more than that, I think it's like $3.29.
It's all the overhead. It's all the the accounting of it. It's all the bottom line stuff.
Like I understand.
Yeah.
But I'm not fully okay with.
Like economically.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Anyway,
Sidetracking.
That was such a long sidetrack.
This is such a good little like moment of like backtracking before we go forward. This is not our topic at all today.
This is gonna end up being our topic.
It might. It's fine.
It might. That's fine.
And
I'm sorry. And like I drove past to get to here, the old town that we used to live in. I was like, this is crazy. I don't ever drive past there anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true. Did you come down?
Main Street.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Every town has Main Street, so we're safe.
That's true, yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter if you knew where we used to live, but still.
Yeah.
And most of you probably, now we know who are watching this, actually used to
like,
live there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to work, that was a solid job. I almost kind of miss working places where I would get fed.
Because it's so convenient?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was really disgusting.
We were all, then again, we were all like seniors in high school, didn't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
So we're like, yeah, free food.
Yeah. But I was
I hope Dunkin' Corporate doesn't like.
I was real gross. And we used to like, oh
what?
my goodness. We used to get,
we used to make food, right, for our lunch, for our like breaks. And we
Yeah.
would just make the stupidest concoctions.
And that was back when they had those like triangle flatbread things.
Yeah.
Remember those? Like
Yeah.
little sandwich things?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't ever go to
and
Dunkin'
wait,
anymore.
let's be really, there was also a Baskin Robbins inside.
Right, because we're connected to it.
So
ice cream for days.
I used to eat, I don't think I ever, and wait, the worst part of this is that I didn't drink coffee then. So that was a total,
I didn't either. No, I didn't either.
Total waste.
Yeah. Looking back now. Right. Absolutely. Because all I got was, like, chai and iced tea and, like, a hot chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we just ate all the food.
Yeah, it was gross.
And the donuts.
And the donuts.
And we would take as many donuts home with us at the end of the night as possible because we got really mad when they tried to throw them away.
Sorry, corporate.
I mean, whatever, man. You guys make, more power to you. But
Yeah,
whatever.
good for them.
Okay, so our topic for the day. That's our
Besides that.
total
my
segue.
God.
What
Great.
is your, I'm gonna drop this out there. What is your coffee of choice? Are you a Starbucks person?
Oh, yeah.
Are you a Dunkin' person? Ooh.
Starbucks and, like, oh, there are also cats here.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
There's 3 of them.
First I'm just like, what is that? Yes, I have 3 cats. That'll also probably be another episode.
God. So I'm either a Starbucks or a Wawa person.
Oh, see, I've never had Wawa coffee, but I've heard, maybe not enough to remember it, but I've heard good stuff about it.
Is there a Wawa around here?
Yeah, of course there is. And it's
Hey.
cheap too, right?
Yeah.
It's they're like reasonable.
$1.
Yeah, they're reasonable about their coffee sizes.
Yes.
You?
You don't drink that much coffee.
I drink more coffee now than I should, probably.
I drink like every day because of work.
I try not to do that.
Because it's tax season.
Yeah, well,
Otherwise, outside like busy season, like summer, like it's like I barely drink coffee because I don't need it.
Yeah.
But then I get like super like addicted to it during like these like 4 months. So like it's like weaning off.
Rough times.
It's a rough time. It's a rough time. Yeah.
And it's like not a joke about how much of a drug caffeine is.
Yeah,
in terms of like you
addiction.
Really go through. Like I remember having a friend who went through like withdrawal symptoms of it, and all of us were like, oh, like what's going on with you? Why do you have all these headaches? And then like she finally told us like I've been trying not to drink coffee, and she was like a double, like huge coffees, and then I was like, oh my god, that's terrifying.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, super major segue to not anything related to coffee, but I had to get that out because I had to vent about it because it was early this morning, and I was like, why is this happening? As like the coffee spilling on top of me, I was like, this totally should have fit in this cup. I don't understand. Okay, anyway. So,
economics, that's a whole different topic.
What we were trying to
there's no segue into this.
No, there's not
at all.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, like, can you make a segue? No, not even close. I'm not even gonna try.
Challenge.
Unless I can. Okay. No, not even.
What is this? Did you talk about this?
So here's my story. We'll segue it into this whole thing because after watching last night, I went to the movies by myself after work.
Okay.
Do you ever go to any movies by yourself? I'm just curious. Every time like I ask people, I like have to ask them if they do.
I don't think I ever have. I have to be honest with you.
It's very. Because I need
not that I haven't wanted to, but I don't think I ever have. There's always somebody who wants to see it with me, whether it's like him or.
Sometimes I just go. Sometimes I'm like, I just need to like be alone for a couple hours and just like I've been around way too many people. So last night after work, I went to see Little Women in theaters.
Okay.
Do you know that book? It's like very.
I feel like I've heard of it.
It's a classic. It's a classic back. I don't know what date it is. I'm not even gonna try to estimate what date, but it's old.
Right.
And it's set in America during the Civil War. God, if it's during a war in America. Look, that's not even really. It's like in the side plot, but basically it's about four sisters, a mother, and like their father's at war.
Okay.
And it's basically about like one of the middle sisters is like super like women empowerment.
Got it.
And like is so anti-marriage. And is like, girls aren't just for love, like I want to make my own money, make my own name, and all that stuff. So that's a kind of a good segue for all that. But I watched it last night. It was really good. I sobbed.
Now I want to go see it.
It was
okay. I don't really want to sob, so maybe I'll wait.
I like cried, and you know what's funny? So it was last night, right? And last night the Harley Quinn movie came out.
Ooh.
The Birds of Prey. So everyone was watching that movie last night, and I was the only one in the theater.
Oh,
so I was just sobbing.
Okay, so maybe I should go to the movies by myself. Is what that's telling me.
So I was just absolutely sobbing in the back row of the movie theater watching Little Women.
That's amazing. There was a book. Oh, I didn't even put this on here. There was a book that I read. I was thinking about it this week. All right, we'll have to segue this. I read it, and we have to read it as part of Women and Gender Studies in college as like being a part of Douglas. This one, The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks.
Is that the DNA woman?
Yeah,
I've heard of.
Where she didn't know about it. I'm trying to remember the premise of the book because it's been we're going back years now. But she didn't know that her DNA was being taken and being tested.
Right.
And then her family goes back to like find out more about it and like be. I don't necessarily remember the premise of like if they wanted compensation or what, but just like to be acknowledged for it.
Right. Because why did they take her DNA?
I don't remember. It was a really long time ago.
In essence, so you read this in gender studies.
Yes. So, I don't know. I guess it's just a segue into what you were talking about, like the empowerment of the time, because this was back. I mean, during I don't remember what time it was. Let me see if I can.
Little Women's during the Civil War. Yes, because I said Abraham Lincoln.
That's a solid way to remember it, though.
Well, do you know who
this is? The 1940s. Oh, look. She looks straight.
That's how she skims.
Oh, this is like the full.
That's the full like novel.
Yeah, whatever. We're gonna do that. But yeah, I'm just thinking like back in the day. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into something that's like not related, but we're gonna go through this. So talking about like finances, talking about economics, talking about like women of history, right, and the stuff that they dealt with of history. Let's go forward and talk about like, yay, all of the victories that women have. Why the hell are we still not paid the same amount that men are?
Getting paid the same amount as men.
At least, right.
Because what is this? It's like $1 to like 70 something cents still?
I think so, yeah.
Or is it up to 80 yet? Do we know?
I don't know. I don't know.
We should have done research.
We should have. This is going to be a lot of... We're going to, like, figure out what our questions are about things as we go. Probably.
Yeah. Gender pay gap. I really didn't know what I was Googling. Yeah, again, like, this is all our opinions. I feel like I have to, like, reiterate every
Oh, yeah,
time,
always.
Right? It's...
Maybe you agree. Maybe you don't. So, either way, cool.
So I just hit, like, the first Google whatever from back in April 2019. It's 79 cents.
Okay.
It's $1.
Still.
Oh, okay. Like, still.
It's good to be able to celebrate all of the women in the past and how far we have come, but that doesn't mean the fight has to stop. Mm-hmm. And you want to know was I with you when we were having this conversation? Where was I that I was just having a conversation with somebody? Oh, did I tell you about, we were talking about the Monopoly game. And I told you I saw the one that was like...
Dan and I were... For,
women or something? Yeah, there was one that was like, because women deserve to be paid more than men. And we were like, that's not feminism.
That's not how feminism works.
Yeah. And it said it was like feminist monopoly. And we both looked at each other and we were like, that's definitely not how that is supposed to happen.
Do people understand that feminism is the equality of rights and not the overpowering of rights?
Do we have a specific term for the overpowering of females?
Like women being the now majority?
Yeah.
Or like the people in power?
Right. Do we have a term for that?
Do we have a term for the current regime?
I mean, would it be... we don't. Broken? Is that a good term for it?
Normal? I don't know.
Because I wonder if that's why people get the concept of feminism confused, because they don't have anything to actually call. Not that you should want that, but if you don't know what to call it.
Right. Like, because it's just an imbalance of power.
Right.
We just want the balance.
Right. And if you're right. If the norm is the offset in favor of like having a hierarchy with males on top, then feminism doesn't have to be the opposite. Feminism is just the term of saying that females are included.
Correct.
And there's an equality there. Yeah. Right. Okay, so this is all going way. Okay. Now we can transition a little bit. So, we wanted to talk more about like gender identities, but I guess we're talking about just female-ism first. Female-ism. We're going to put that as a thing. There was back when I wrote this...
In 2016?
Yeah, Maria talked about how I had, when we first came up with the idea of this, that I started like diving into topics and we wrote everything down on Google Docs. I had listened to like an audiobook that I really, really liked. It was a book called The Love Warrior. I'm terrible and I don't know who the author is off the top of my head. So we'll put it in later. Something will be there. And I want to read to you what I wrote.
We'll just pause.
The rest, pause. The rest of the book, I think, it was very empowering to listen to as a female. But you have to. The author gives you like the perspective of what she went through and how like her journey to get there. So like the beginning is not pretty or fun.
Not fun.
And like I had a lot of moments reading the rest of it where I had lots of moments being like, oh my god,
yeah.
Which was great. But the beginning of the book is all about a woman who catches her husband like cheating and plays. Oh, and it like the whole beginning plays her out to be like the sad victim. Where I wrote he's a major dick.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. But I was angry when I was reading it because I was thinking to myself. Oh, I was listening to it, not reading it. I was thinking to myself.
At this point in time, it's the same thing.
That's true.
2020.
I'm so sick and tired of women being portrayed as victimized.
Mm-hmm.
Where they have to like pity themselves and question their self-worth because of a man.
Can I just pause you for a second and say that I'm such like a spelling Nazi?
Are you reading over all of my things?
Yeah.
Oh, I put there. That's sad, Brittany.
Yeah, that's also great.
And it also like isn't plural when it's supposed to be. This is what. So when I send text messages or when I write things, and I'm like, especially when I'm just writing and I don't think to go back and look at it, which is why I literally have to proofread everything, and I still proofread it, and I still don't do it correctly. Mm-hmm. This happens.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm saying it correctly. Thank God you don't read what I write.
I'm just being a dick.
That's fine. I don't care. Whatever. I don't care.
So women again I hate them being portrayed as victims.
Right. And I think...
And, like, helpless is what it is.
Yeah, and you have to go back. I mean, I wrote down, like, the image of a man and woman that keeps being recreated and exploited is a massive issue. And I think that it goes back to, like, that idea of, like, that, what we were talking about in terms of feminism. But, like, the way that it doesn't start... Like, this issue didn't start when this woman got in a relationship. It started when we were younger, right? And I've experienced that, too. Like, it starts when you're younger, and then you realize, like, growing up. Like, me going to... I don't know if I talked about this on the first episode or not, but I talked about my trip to IADMS, the trip that I took to Canada by myself. Okay, so... and this is,
what
like...
was that? I didn't know you went to Canada by yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a part of the International Association of Dance Science and Medicine, and I went to their conference in Canada.
Whoa.
I don't know how to respond to that, but great. Okay. If you're listening, please watch the video to see what hand gesture Maria just made, because that was very fun.
Can I just say, and if my coworkers are watching this, I don't know what happened to us this week. Again, I'm an accountant, and it's busy season. It's tax season. For some reason, do you know that SpongeBob episode where it's ravioli? Like the formula one? Where it's like, what the hell is his name? Plankton is Mr. Krabs in a robot suit. And SpongeBob makes him do like an 8-hour freaking thing to get the formula.
I remember him in the robot suit, but I don't
And
remember
ravioli. Give me the formula.
No.
If any of my coworkers are watching, they must be like going insane because that's
now
all I
gotta
freaking did.
They're coming out with another SpongeBob movie.
I know, I saw. It was in the previews when I watched Little Women last night.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember how I saw that.
I don't know.
I saw
What the
it,
hell
though.
were we talking about?
Oh.
So
Wait,
international whatever.
SpongeBob. Oh yeah, okay. So I had to go on this trip by myself.
Cool.
And
Where in Canada?
In Montreal.
Oh, cool.
And I was
All right.
fine because I didn't want to drive. And
Yeah.
I whatever. And so we talked about fear in our last episode.
Yeah.
I don't like heights. I don't know how I didn't talk about that last time, but I do not like heights. And
I touched upon it. You must have said something.
okay. Well,
You can. They can watch it again.
Yeah, go back and watch it. Maybe I should go. Well, it's not done being edited yet, but whatever. So I had to go to the airport. I had to be at the airport by myself. I had to board a plane by myself.
Yeah.
I had to get to Montreal by myself. I had to get transportation to the hotel by myself. And just I had to do everything by myself. And it was I got to walk around Montreal by myself.
Yeah.
It was the most amazing experience I've ever had. I had to do all of that.
Yeah.
And I started to think I was in a place where I was able to cope with my anxiety. Cool. So I did manage not to have a panic attack, which was huge.
That's huge.
Yeah, which was huge.
Yeah.
But while I was on the plane, I was thinking to myself, why have you always been so afraid to do this? You're very comfortable. And it was ironic because I think the person sitting next to me was probably more uncomfortable than I was. So I
it's just relative.
Yeah, so I just tried to have a conversation with them, ask them about flying and everything.
Yeah.
And it was something that a year ago I probably never, just the thought of would have made me sweaty. You know what I mean?
It's an uncomfortable situation.
But I started to think back to why I was afraid to do all of that by myself. Mm-hmm. And it really stemmed from the fact that, when I was little, and it was from totally the perspective of being, being a dad and trying to protect your daughter. But my dad used to say things to me, even to this day, when they found out that I was in Canada, I don't think they realized, they called me and, had kind of a panic attack.
Really? They didn't know you were going to Canada.
I had mentioned it. Whatever, that's selective here. That'll be another here. So anyway, I was there and I started to realize I have so many memories in my head of being told growing up
be careful.
You're a girl.
Oh
right?
yeah. It would always the premise would be you're a girl, you shouldn't do XYZ.
Yeah.
Or be careful because you're a girl.
Yeah, or you're tiny, and I was tiny, I was.
You're.
It's pinky. It was a
little
tiny thing. And in all reality, the ability.
Someone could have punched you.
I always thought it was funny that he had that thought of me, which I get because I'm sure every father, I'm not a dad, I'm not even a parent yet, but I'm sure you look down and you're you want to be protective and you want to take care of them. I totally get that. But it's just funny that he thought I couldn't protect myself, but loves to tell the story about how I punched my brother in the face. So
where's the
where's that line? Anyway,
that?
so I started to think about all of this.
Yeah.
And I was this is why I have some of the fear that I have, because I'm a girl, I'm by myself, I'm traveling.
It's just
Yeah, it just lived up there.
Intrinsic, the right word? I feel like I'm just pulling that word out of my
It was just imprinted in my brain. It was just programmed into my brain to feel like you can't, like, you know, and not because, like, not with any, like, malice, just because it was, like, trying to keep me safe, and that was what it grew into after being up there for so long. So, I don't remember where I was going with this, but just, going back to, like, the book.
Yeah.
Like, we just have to... There are so many norms that are generations old about, like, what it would have been to be a woman in that time. And we're in 2020 now. Like, what it means to be a woman is different. And not to say there aren't any dangers out there for women. There totally are. And, I mean, I'm very lucky. I don't know, you can talk about this in your own experiences, but I'm very lucky to... I mean, some stuff has happened, but, like, I'm very lucky to still be here. You know?
Yeah, I mean, no, for sure.
Like, in terms of, like, the things that females encounter, like, the
like
negative, scary things.
And, like, still being, like, out and about in the dark is still, like, a scary thing for women.
Yeah,
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Had tons of those
feel
moments.
like, also what's imprinted in our mind is I don't have my keys on me, but, like, to have a key in the middle of, like...
Oh, yeah, I used to do that all the time.
All the time. Especially when we were in college, walking around campus at night. It just, like...
That you need to always be on, like, guard.
And, like, that's just, like, I feel like that's part of, unfortunately, being, like... a woman still. Like, it's just, like, the fear of, like, something happening. When, like, really, it shouldn't be like that.
And you want to know... Okay, so let's talk about this.
Okay.
And this is going to segue into the next thing I want to talk about. So, I've had so many different conversations where other people have brought up the Super Bowl halftime show to me.
I love that halftime show.
Me too.
A lot of people online on Twitter are like, what the hell was that?
So, okay, the biggest conversation, like, that I've had at me, and so much of it has been positive in terms of, because when I look at it, especially as somebody who has a dance background, I'm like, I was like, first of all, I was like, yes, to, like, Latino women took over the football, like, the football game. Yeah. Right? Yeah. This, like, American pastime that men are all big about literally took the whole thing by storm. Like, totally took over. And they put, like, their culture on state. Like, where else would that have been allowed? Like, you're talking about an American, like...
football,
like
a
sporting
event. One of the most watched sporting events year-round.
Yeah, and one of the things that, like, men in this country 100% put on a pedestal as, like, being, like, a true American, like, norm. Thing, you're taking these two extremely empowering Latino women, and they're putting their culture, in the middle of this. Like, that was a huge... I saw that as a huge victory. A huge that was a huge thing. And I had to have... And if you look at it from that perspective, which is a really... You have to be, like, out here. Like, you have to be able to really look at it, like, zoomed out.
Yeah, zoom out.
All of the conversations that I had that were focused on that were... And somebody that I went to school with was in it, and she was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, she was amazing.
Wow.
And so... Like, I feel like if you have to be able to take that perspective. But the negative conversations that people brought to me about it all had to do with... Okay, let me give you, like, a broad example. So, people would tell me I didn't like it was so sexual, and I didn't like their outfits. But,
like, where was it sexual? I was so confused. Like, their outfits?
I guess, like, it's... Guys, it's Shakira. Like, that is the way that she danced. Like, that's their culture. Like, the way they move culturally, and the fact that she had a rope, they didn't like that. But, like, they used... like...
Nothing fazed me.
No, and it was...
like,
I was
cool.
like, yes. And, like, the best part is that, like, we grew up with all that music, so I was, like, singing and belting. But, so... And on top of that, the women and girls, because I work with... all ages, that, literally. Like, brought that, like, it made me uncomfortable to me, were also in the room with men who had not appropriate responses to things. Like, I have an older woman who made a comment to me about how she was uncomfortable because she was in the room with men, and, like, she didn't like the way they were gawking at the TV, which is, like...
That's, like... Ugh, that's a whole...
And I had young girls doing that, and... It became, for, like, the older people that I was talking to, or even the people my age, it had to become, like, a conversation of, like, well, that wasn't the point. Like, you have to understand the culture behind their dancing, and, like, what these women are able to do in that 15 minutes.
Seriously, no, absolutely.
And, like, that, it's just, I think it's funny. Like, if women are able to do that to men in the middle of their football game, the thing that they hold as a prized possession, like, look at how much power women have. Like, that... If we can, like, allure them and get them distracted from the thing that they spend all year, like, waiting for, like, that's a huge win. Yeah. And the harder part was when I had to have the conversation with the younger girls, is that and a couple of them flat out, like, they started expressing their things to me, and I flat out said, I was like, do you feel uncomfortable because you feel like now you have to meet that, like, whatever standard that is?
That expectation?
And very clearly they were like, well, when boys, like, look at me or say something, like, that's what they're going to compare me to.
Boys are stupid.
And that is the essence of this conversation. So, and it's not, and, like, let me put this in my perspective.
Also, let me put this in, like, the internet. Like, this is... I'm like certain boys are stupid. Like,
right.
Stupid.
So okay, let's talk about the experience that I had.
We all know someone's gonna be like,
I watched the football game with my fiance.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And Dan is literally just sitting there, like, giggling at me and watching it, and like, it doesn't feel awkward.
Yeah.
Because there's no because he's not sitting there drooling or making not appropriate comments. Or
why do they feel the need to do that?
Because they're allowed to and they can. Because no one told them that it's not appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, yes, yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, that's the general question. Why do they feel like they can do that?
I feel like that's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, you're right. So, it, like, the audience you're within is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, it's like...
You know, it's like the don't watch sex scenes with your parents conversation. Like, if you know, like, sorry, that's like my really intense parallel. But if you know that...
Yeah.
If you know that you're going to be watching somebody like Shakira or like J-Lo, who has, like, these amazing, like, strengths and capabilities and comes from a Latin culture and has, like, dance background that's Latin and is very much, like, focused on the movements of the hips, which is a very difficult thing to do, just to be clear.
Yeah,
especially to that extent. You should know your audience. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to be watching that with people who don't know how to be appreciative of, like, just humans.
Culture?
Just a human to not look at them and do something like that.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to, like, stop and take a look, because it's not what's coming at you, it's the situations you're putting yourself in and how you're going to take it. So, another thing we wanted to talk about was, like, gender identity.
Yeah. That's a lot of...
And we have I don't. Do you feel like you have, like, I don't have any experiences personally with being really close to somebody who was, like, transitioning or was identifying as something that they were, like, something different than what they were biologically born as.
I have no personal experience. The only, like, experience that I have are, like, from, like, watching, like, YouTubers or, like, people of, like, you know, celebrities and, like...
Who are going through it.
Right. Yeah. Like, I don't have any personal, like, first-hand experiences of that. No.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So I don't know the struggle.
Yeah.
That is what we're trying to say.
But we do have so much love.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean,
who are
like,
going through that.
No, because, like, yes, but, like...
We can't talk about it from our own experience because we don't have it. But we can talk about what we see.
Right, and I feel like my whole issue with people that are anti anything of that sort is, like, why, like, it's not your body. Which is, like, a whole different topic on, like, just being a woman in general.
Yeah.
It's, like, why are laws against, like, women's bodies, and, like, why are, like, the majority of Congress and the Senate or whatever, majority men, like, why are they making or trying to pass laws and all this stuff? It's, like, the same concept. It's, like, why do you have such a strong... bigger and bigger and bigger. Why do you have such a strong, I guess, hatred, right?
Yeah, and, like,
against
so much, I mean, I guess...
energy spent
my
on,
thought
like,
would be, why do you have so much fear?
Yeah, like...
Like, that's gotta be what it doesn't stem from love, and your actions and thoughts and words either stem from love or for fear, and a hell of a not is not from love.
And also, like, alright, say, like, you are in a presence of someone that is identified as a trans person, man or woman, whatever, and you don't know that, and then like, you know them as a man or a woman, like, whatever they identify as, and then after the fact, you find that out, like, does that now make you... Like, why do people feel uncomfortable now? Like, after, like you've liked person. Them. Yeah. Like, you've liked them as, like, a guy or a girl, whatever they identify as. And then all of a sudden you find out that they're trans, and some people are like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't understand
it's just so...
Same thing with, like, orientation.
Yeah.
Like, what...
Like, you've known them for so long, or, like, whatever. Like, what does it matter?
Yeah. I will never forget, I've been in a multitude of instances with both... like, in relations to both people who were male or female, where someone would, like, come out and say that they were a woman interested in a woman, or a man interested in men, and somebody else would say something of, like, oh, I don't feel comfortable now, because what if they're, like, attracted to me, or they try to hit on me?
That's not how...
And
even
like I was just
that's not even how like
but they were into
straight people.
We were in
like
middle school.
Oh my god. Okay.
And there was somebody that like I always loved like dancing. There was somebody that we went to school with, and I was like always out like dancing at events with, and she was always dancing with me, and like we were always having a good time. And I will never forget. Something happened where like I don't even know if she's actually still has those preferences, but she had like mentioned to people that she was interested in women, and then like I didn't whatever, I don't care, I'm still gonna dance with you, like we have fun. And someone like approached me middle school and was like, why do you do that with her? Like, what if she like tries to like do something to you, or like don't you feel uncomfortable because she's interested in women? I was like, no, it's not about me. It's not about me.
No, no, not at all.
It doesn't matter. And like I'm not gonna make her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because that's not fair.
It's not fair at all. It's not your like it's her, I don't know. It's too much of a topic.
This
is like
way too much.
It's a lot, and like we don't have firsthand experiences with.
No, and we would love to talk to somebody,
right,
and have somebody here who wants to advocate and talk about their experiences in this in a really safe space.
Absolutely.
Because the two of us could not be any more awkward or like more like not scary. I hopefully not scary and like intimidating, because we want to make, like we said, we want to make that community, and having somebody who could be an awesome advocate for other people who could go through that, would be amazing. Even if you're doing that by yourself and you don't necessarily want to be a part of whatever we're trying to build, let's get more awareness out there. Like let's
I don't see a problem with like, again, it's up to that person's, like, it's their body, it's their choice. Like I just don't understand why like every person possible around them it has like so many opinions.
We have to go like backwards in time to like figure out like how where these fears started to stem, because like they have I'm gonna say it anyway.
Probably like colonialism.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't
like
everything stem from that?
Person just like taking over like you know, every single country possible. Yeah, probably there.
Yeah,
I can guess that.
Because I mean, think about it. When you go back, I'm sure in other like indigenous cultures that like it's not a thing. Pretty sure, like you are whatever you are, and everybody walks away.
Like non-hetero like relationships were probably normal until like Christianity and religion was like, hell no. I can bet you. So that's basically, what it is. Until a white person came in and was like, no, absolutely.
Which is like, but where did that come from? In white, if it's like a cultural thing, where
I feel like it came from religion,
and like it, like we're gonna have religion gonna be that another conversation. But how do I say? Not to say that I do or I don't or whatever about religion, but like Jesus didn't show up and go, you can't be, you can't wear that long dress. You need to put on a pair of pants. Like Jesus wasn't gonna do that to anybody. Yeah. Like you can't have a bedfellow that's of the same gender. Like, if that's the point of who that person was supposed to be when they were here, like, they didn't do that. So, where did that come from?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
When we start to talk about, I have so many things.
About what?
On religion, guys. You practice whatever you want to practice, but I had some crazy experiences in, like, the multitude of religions.
We used to practice the same religion at the same time. Yeah. Only because, like, we were forced to. I mean, I still practice it. You don't.
I do not.
Yeah. So, it's like... So we can talk about that.
We can talk about that more. Okay, anyway.
So
we were talking about gender identity. So we actually talked about this a little bit because we knew we wanted to talk about it in the next episode, the last time we were recording. And we woke up, right, like, it's funny that you can, there is nothing that I can't explain how much respect I have for the I don't know how you would relate. How would you describe this? If you are a man, you were biologically born a man, and you identify as a woman, and you walk out there, like, there are some, like, men that I know who literally, like, walk around looking prettier than I could ever look in terms of, like, being able to take care of their beauty, like, their hygiene, their skincare. They just get it, and, like,
also, why is skincare, like, a feminine thing? Shouldn't you just be taking care of your skin in general?
Like, self-care should be, like, a...
Self-care, right.
Human
hygiene
thing. It's a human thing, not a gender thing.
Right, but, I mean, then again, and, like, makeup, like, that's also, like, any gender thing.
And it's funny because, when you look at, like, the concept of that, like, I know men who are afraid of that experience, of, like, men who do have really serious skincare or
Yeah,
can
regimen
really
or whatever.
beautifully do their face with makeup.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny because it's like, you know, if you actually put a little bit of that effort in taking care of your skin, like you would look and feel better and have better self-confidence to be able to achieve what you want, whether like it's in relationship related or just
like yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Absolutely.
yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
That's why I put the thing on Twitter where I was like, because somebody was somebody was venting about something, and I was thinking about the comment, like, when you point a finger at somebody, you have 3 fingers pointing back.
Yeah.
And, like, I've learned a lot how, like, if you feel like you have to point the finger at somebody, like, your body is physically trying to tell you need to look at yourself first instead of looking at somebody else. And I think it stems all of that, especially in gender identity and gender issues. I think it all comes from that. There's something that you feel insecure about yourself to see somebody else expressing themselves without any issue. It bothers you.
Yeah, I think that's what that stems from. Is like, you're looking at someone else and they're super confident, and it's just like you're not confident enough to be that.
And it's not about you. And that was the hardest thing
to disconnect from. It's like they're not doing it to flaunt.
No.
They're doing it for themselves too.
And it's just so funny because psychologically, humans, we all have this major concern about, like, we go to this extent of, like, worrying about what other people think. But at the end of the day, no one is thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. Maybe how they relate to you, and that's going to have an influence on how they, like, interact with you. Yeah. But 90% of the time, people are going through the same thing you're going through, where they're wondering about, like, they're worrying about themselves compared to everybody else.
That's usually how it goes, yeah.
That's how everybody is. Yeah. So if that person's stepping out and is, like, expressing themselves, they're not trying to do anything to you. They're just trying to
be themselves.
Yeah, and be happy with themselves. And there are 2 awesome people that I want to talk about, who are famous. Yeah. Like, Billy Porter. I don't know if you guys watch Pose, or have you seen Pose?
I only know of him through his red carpet looks.
Okay,
that's it. That's all I got.
That hat with the, like, the
I don't even know
fringe
what it was. Yeah.
That had, like, this remote control on it to open and close, and, like, that pantsuit. That man is beautiful.
Yes.
And
who is he?
Billy, he's an actor.
He's an actor.
And he's a singer. I think he also has music. I mean, I might sound really stupid right now because I'm not 100% sure. I just really know him from Pose because that is an amazing show that talks about all of these things. Really? And it really reminds me of Rent. It reminds me of, like...
Gotcha.
Of, like, the idea and the concepts of Rent.
He's a Broadway theater performer.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful voice. But yeah, the clothes that this man wears, his fun personality, like, and the thing is, you look at him and you're like, he doesn't even need to identify as a gender. He's just such this vibrant, like, being, this vibrant energy that who cares?
You know? Right, agreed. Like, I don't even see him as, like...
He's just a person.
Yeah. Which is a beautiful thing to
and I don't even honestly know what he would identify as. If he has identified himself as something.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, right, exactly. Like, does he call himself he, they, them? Remember when Sam Smith, is that his name? Sam Smith, the, like, Grammy Award winning, like, singer. Yeah. Sam Smith. Yeah. Did I call him he? I'm sorry. They started using they, them as
I didn't even know that.
Their pronouns. And, like, see, I still mess up.
Yeah, I do that all the time. And speaking of doing that all the time. Yeah. There are...
And just inclusion for that, like, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, solid.
So...
And, like, I hope that you go into that being really forgiving and of understanding that, like...
Because, like, what does that have to do with me?
Right.
Literally,
like... And I'm gonna totally mess it up. So, let's go back and talk about the 2. Because when I work with kids, I work with kids in a lot of theater settings. Yeah. And one of my favorite things about being in that setting is that kids come out of their shells and they feel really confident. And I've been in situations with high school students who are, you know, a different gender identity than they were born with, and middle school situations. And I always feel so bad if I don't get it right. If I use the wrong pronoun. You know?
Because it's so, again, it's one of those things that
we've been programmed for.
Literally, it's like you look at a person and you can kind of know, like, I want to say, like, more than half the time, and you're just programmed to be like,
yes, you are 100% programmed for it. Yeah.
Some people call themselves they, them. Is that, there has to be more pronouns.
There's the Z and the X, right? Am I wrong? Isn't there a Z?
I don't know.
Okay, again, this is why we need people in our lives who...
We're not afraid of saying
who can help us with this, because we want to be more, like, aware
of... Here we go.
Oh. I didn't even do that on purpose. We want to be more aware of like gender stereotypes and identity and just
all the
being,
pronouns.
Just being able to be more inclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
like, we're not trying to be experts at every episode. I literally don't know.
Oh yeah, this is literally just a podcast of us talking about all the stuff we don't know.
Literally. So like, anyone wants to come on and educate us, that'd be great.
But like one of my favorite things, and I've noticed too, sometimes immaturity can get in the way for like the students that are in middle school, like they don't really know how to handle it.
Oh yeah.
Or like they might make a face if like you say the wrong thing, and I'm like, oh god, now I feel really bad. Bad. Yeah. But the high school kids that I've encountered and like the college kids that I've encountered who are going through that, when I would say like if they were born a biologically she and they were transitioning to he, if I say the wrong thing, they don't even acknowledge it, and then my brain goes, oh my goodness, I am so sorry, and they're like, it's fine.
Yeah, but like
that, just like that,
like they're used to it.
And I had a student one time like come up to me after like years that I was around them and got to work with them, and they were like, thank you for just accepting me for who I was and not questioning anything and like just trying to be more aware of it.
Yeah, and I think, it's just how you are. And so I would do the same thing. Like,
it's just beautiful.
Like, yeah. Because I feel bad. Because, like, I'm pretty sure every other
because you don't want to make them feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But at the same time...
And also not, like, be like any other person and not consider their wanting of being called a he or a she or whatever.
Or, like, make them feel, like... make them feel like you have to do something different for them versus everybody else in the room. Like, it's just... You know, it's just... And I think there has to be that space for the messiness, right? Coming full circle.
Yeah.
There has to be that space for the messiness.
Yeah.
Because we really
haven't... Really.
If you look at it, like, we've been programmed to think, oh my god, you can't go on a podcast and do this, what are people going to think?
I don't care anymore.
But that's not the way we're programmed. Like, oh my god, you can't go... I mean, how many references of my life can I make this? Oh my god, you can't have 3 cats. Oh my god, you are gonna... Oh my god, you can't wait 3 years to get married. Oh my god, you can't start your own business and not get a full-time job. Where do I stop?
Yeah, like...
But
then you're not gonna live your own life.
Yes, and it's always been messy.
Yeah.
I always figured it out along the way. Yeah. But thank you. But it's always been messy. Mm-hmm. And if we don't make room for that messiness, then nothing's gonna grow, right? The people that I've gotten to encounter and the students, the children that I've gotten to work with who are redefining what it means to be them, which is the most beautiful thing that you can watch somebody go through, who can understand that, it's a messy process, and like I'm trying to figure it out, and I know that the people around me, have to figure it out, but I can appreciate the people who are willing to try, and who are willing to love me anyway,
right? Because you're doing it for yourself. That's the whole thing. The whole bottom line is like
everything.
Everyone
is
doing
everything they have to do.
It's for themselves.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And that actually is a good segue because I wanted to talk about this. Laverne Cox put up a post recently that I had to save because just amazing, where she's been like doing all of these amazing videos about like her transition process and like loving like her body that she has now. And I want to definitely put this up as like a link for us to look at. Sure. But she makes in her what do we call that? The thing that goes underneath the picture? It's called something.
Yeah. I'm so... A caption?
Thank you. Yeah.
You really did?
Okay, guys, and I literally have so much Instagram stuff and it's still...
She's like the thing.
This is my brain.
Picture.
Brain farts. So she says, I've been thinking a lot lately about whether or not my image and the things I post promote unrealistic beauty standards. And the last thing that's the last thing I'd want to do. Then I think about being a kid in Alabama, dreaming of becoming the woman of my dreams, and that seemed impossible. And sometimes I give myself a pool moment like this one, because she's shooting a little video of herself just enjoying her body in the pool. And in front of my cell phone, and I realize that I have become the woman of my dreams, and I want to celebrate her.
Damn.
And she says, I want to look back and say I've lived my life to the fullest and worked while I had it. I also want to celebrate folks of every gender, identity, size, shape, ability, race, nationality, ethnicity, religion, owning and loving who you are today in this moment, because this moment is all we have. It's not about looking like or doing it like Laverne Cox. It's about looking like and doing it like you. And I think that just summed it up so well, because yes, she goes on and she shows off her beautiful body and she's enjoying it, but she also really is adamant on talking about the journey that she's gone through. That's maybe not been
And that's for her.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what she's really supporting. It's not about the end result, right? She's very proud of the end result because she looks at her process and can acknowledge all of it and be proud of the mess.
And it's also not for anyone else.
Right.
It's not for show. It's not for, like, look at me.
Yeah.
now.
The message is what she wants for everybody else.
Yeah.
And, you know, and not to be like, what was I just watching where they're like, you know, pretty bodies and like hot girls like win Instagram because people look at that. But Instagram's not about, and yeah, she's freaking beautiful if you don't know who I'm talking about. If you think about Instagram, we talk about Instagram and that Instagram used to be about the picture. The Instagram's not about the picture anymore. It's about the caption and getting people to read something and feel something. Everything in the world is about getting people to feel something. It's still kind of like
the picture, but it's like the feeling of the picture. And then if you get the feeling of the picture, then they'll read your caption. Yeah. It's all like very still visual, but it's the feeling.
Yeah, because everything in life is about the feeling that we're trying to get out of it. And I think the feeling that we're going for and talking about all of this stuff today is just acceptance. You want to feel accepted, you want to feel acknowledged, you want to feel equal, right? Like you have the same rights and possibilities as other people.
It's still not the overstepping of power.
Yeah.
It's like the equality behind it.
And then just being together and celebrating that together.
Damn.
Well, we packed a lot more. We only have 50 seconds left before the camera stops, and I don't want to make Maria have to go through a whole nother video. So,
it's fine.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much for listening to us. This episode was probably a little less, maybe, like, ha-has than our first couple episodes were.
Oh, we're still figuring it out.
But yeah, I think it was important to talk about. Comment with us, like, how you feel, but maybe how you identify. How you were born versus how you identify. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Let's talk more.
Yeah.
And definitely keep reaching out if you want to be on the show. We would love to get our bigger, Be More community.
Yep. Cool.
Cool.
All right.
Bye, guys. Thanks again.